my parents make me like think, okay, you have to get better grades in this, you have to get better scores in this. That kind of puts a little bit of pressure, but it's like it teaches me to like strive for better than others would, but it's kind of it's hard to handle sometimes because your parents are like, oh no, you have to do extracurricular activities and so on and so forth, and it's just kind of hard.
So I feel that my parents don't have high standards for me, but they still expect a little bit more from me than from other kids because in a way it puts some kind of unseen pressure on the kid, but at the same time it's a good type of pressure because even though my parents have never told me, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to be better at this than other people, I feel like they know that I'm gonna try my best to make them happy so that they can understand that, so that I understand.
I feel like the only advantages I really have is that my family grew up in like a really small town, and they didn't have a lot of opportunities I did, and like education, having a better house, and I'm grateful for like everything they have given me because they don't really have much to live with back over there in Mexico.
I have certain advantages because, like, of course, we have papers and we're able to go international, unlike our own parents that have to stay here because of the disadvantage that they have from coming at such a young age. And the disadvantages are like that I have to deal with the struggle and pressure of my parents of getting better grades and everything. And
It's kind of like I don't fit in with both. So since my family is mostly from Mexico, I don't fit in with Americans, but over there in Mexico, I don't fit over there because I'm too American. So there's two different sides, and I don't fit in either one of them. And I'm just kind of in the middle where I have both cultures, but I can't particularly say one is my culture.
I would say more American because I've been here for 22 years, born and raised. Even though I'm Mexican, I look straight up Mexican. People looked at me like I was, and I don't know, something weird. Then when I was 14, I went to Mexico for the first time and they used different words and I was like, what? So even though I'm Mexican, I don't really understand their language or most of their culture. We don't really know it because we're not from there. Our parents are from there, but not.
this is kind of hard. Being like a first generation American, I see myself. Oh, that's hard. At some points, I see myself more American, but then other parts, I see myself more Mexican because for me, it's like I eat a lot of Mexican food. I have a lot of the songs that I know already. Like it's just you grew up with that, but then having like American friends and they're like, "Oh, look, I had this and this," and you try to like at least get up to their standard because of their culture and everything. And it's also harder because you're just like trying to fit in when you can't fit in either of them, of Mexican or American, because you're right stuck in the middle. But
Yes and no. Certain aspects, no. For example, religion-wise, they're Catholic, and I mean, there's reasons why I don't tend to go towards religion. My parents were raised as the way I was raised, two totally different worlds. They were raised in a community where they're pretty close-minded, not a lot of resources, stuff like that. And yes, because, for example, in life, they give me great advice towards things. They support me with the decisions I make. Whether, they don't really give up on me, and which is a great thing.
Yeah, my parents, they usually we fight a lot with each other, mostly because of misunderstandings we have, because there are things that are done differently here than over there in Mexico. Since they always bring up the argument, well, back in Mexico, since they have a different culture, they have different rules and different norms they go by. So girls are normally supposed to be cooking, cleaning, and doing all the housework, and that's something they normally do even at a young age. And I get scolded a lot solely because I don't either clean up too much or I don't cook, and it's something different that they do over there.
This one like kind of pinpoints a lot how like your parent, if you since my parents aren't American, they don't quite understand what I go through because it's harder for them to be like, okay, and back in my days I did this or I did that. While for us it's different because we're American and we have different opportunities, different things that are open to us, while they had to struggle more. Like, oh look, I had to get like at least 100 in every single class for me to get a good outlook in life, but it still didn't help me. But for me, I have an opportunity to go to college, unlike for them it's harder for them to do that.